Hi students, greeting of the day and welcome to this video channel. As per your mails, we have recognized that you require the questions for practice, and what we are doing over here into this parameter is we are making a system where all the 16 chapters of our chemistry subject and the marking scheme which is given by the board, as per that we have sorted out the questions. Just for an example, the first chapter, the solid state, the question which are going to be asked in the board examination as per the blueprint are one question of 1 mark and one question of 2 mark. So as per that, around 5 to 6 questions have been selected by our panel, and those questions are discussed over here. So those questions may help you out with the answers. We are giving you the questions as well as the answers to it so that it becomes easier for you to go for the practice. Just see the question, read the answer, write the answers so that you come across how much of the portion is to be written. Basically, this exercise is done so that it becomes easier for you to write the answers when the questions are there for the boards. So practice them properly. They are mark based, minute based and topic based. That is, this is the homework which we are doing so that at the time of examination or inside the examination hall, you are not in panic. You know that this question is there. What is the weightage? Just for an example, 1 mark counts for 2 minutes and you have to write around 30 words. So that is maximum 30 words you have to write. So your speed when you practice it gives you a confidence for the examination. So students, best of luck for your examinations and practice this question series so that it becomes easier for you to get good score. We require more than 95%, and this is a technique by which you will be in position to get the marks. This is my 29 years of experience where I have worked with the students on this parameter for the examination and have given them good marks. So be prepared with it, and thanks a lot. See what we are dealing with this into the questions and the parameters of the time management. So thanks.
So students, as per the marking scheme given by the CBSE, this chapter surface chemistry, it is having a weightage of 4 marks, one question of 1 mark and one question of 3 mark. So we'll be dealing with the questions which are of 1 mark. So first question says, what is meant by the shape selective catalysis of reaction? So as we are aware of the fact that the name suggests shape selective means the catalysts which are dependent on the shape, and as per the shape the molecules of the reactants they are combined. So the catalyst which depends upon the pore structure of the catalyst and molecular size of reactant and product molecule is called the shape selective catalysis. Zeolites, they are the shape selective catalysis due to their honeycomb structure. ZSM5 zeolite having the sieve of molecular porosity 5 is used to convert methanol into gasoline or methanol into LPG and CNG. Second question says, what is finely divided substance more effective as an adsorbent? So it is because finely divided substance has more surface area, therefore more adsorbing power. So more will be the surface area, like in the morning when you are running to the school and you are late to the school and the bus is standing. What you do is the milk which is provided to you in a glass, you pour it into a saucer. So the surface area of the saucer is higher than that of the glass. So the milk gets cooled readily. Question number 3. What is meant by chemisorption, or it's also known as chemical adsorption? Chemisorption or chemical adsorption, if the forces holding the adsorbate are as strong as in chemical bond, the adsorption process is known as chemical adsorption or chemisorption. Coming to question number 4. Name the 2 types of adsorption phenomena. So physical adsorption, physisorption, and chemical adsorption, chemisorption. Question number 5 says, what is the basic difference between adsorption and absorption? So there is only a difference of AD and AB. So second alphabet is D and B. Adsorption is a selective absorption when concentration of solute is more at the surface, less in the bulk. Adsorption is the process in which concentration of solute is uniform throughout. Means in the case of adsorption, it's only on the surface, that is a surface phenomena, while absorption is a bulk phenomena, that is in the bulk the solution moves. What is the colligative coagulation process? Repeat, what is the coagulation process? This is the sixth question. So the conversion of the colloidal solution into precipitate is called coagulation, or the process of settling of colloidal particles is called coagulation. Coming to question number 7. What causes Brownian movement in the colloidal solution? It's due to the unbalanced collision between colloidal particles and with the particles of the dispersion medium. Means there is a unbalance between the collision which are in the collision particles and the dispersion medium. Question number 8. What are the soles of metal hydrophilic or hydrophobic? Are the soles of metals hydrophilic or hydrophobic? So the answer to it is the soles of metals are hydrophobic in nature, means they are having phobia. Students, as you are aware of the fact, there is a disease when a dog bites, it's hydrophobia. Phobia means fear. So here also fear from water is known as hydrophobic and affinity with water is known as hydrophilic. Question number 9. Give one example each of oil in water and water in oil emulsion. So milk is an example of oil in water and butter is an example of water in oil emulsion. Give one example each of positively charged sole and negatively charged sole. So the answer to it is ferric hydroxide is positively charged soles because it is generating Fe plus ions, while As2S3 arsenic sulfide is negatively charged soles as it has more of sulfide ions. Coming to the second part, that is 3 marks question. Now the first question says surface chemistry deals with phenomena that occurs at all the surfaces of interfaces. Many important phenomena, corrosion, electrode processes, heterogeneous catalysis, dissociation, adsorption, crystallization occurs at interfaces. Why do we use charcoal in gas, mask and coal mines? Second part is how is animal charcoal used in decolorization of sugar, and third is what is the use of silica gel which is given along with cameras and other electronic equipment. So answer to the first part, it absorbs poisonous gases to large extent and not oxygen which is used for breathing. Second, it absorbs the undesirable colors from aqueous solution of raw sugar. We get colorless sugar. So the animal charcoal, it takes up the colors which are there into that yellowish green solution which we get as the juice of sugar cane. While the third one, the silica gel which we are getting, it absorbs water molecules on its surface and do not allow that moisture to go into the lenses of the cameras and other electronic equipments and make them free from moisture, and so the equipments, they do not get spoiled. Second question, most of the substances we come across in our daily life are colloids. The meals we eat, the clothes we wear, the wooden furniture we use, the houses we live in, the newspaper we read are largely composed of colloids. Dust particles in air, smoke, milk and blood are also examples of colloidal solution. First part is why is sky blue in color, how can we stop bleeding, and third, how are deltas formed. So the answer to it is first part, if we see why the sky is blue, dust particles along with water suspended in air scatter blue light which reaches our eyes, and that's why the sky appears to be blue to us. Second part, FeCl3 or alum coagulates blood. Blood is negatively charged colloid which is coagulated with Fe plus 3 ions or Al plus 3 ions effectively. So whenever we have a cut, you might have seen that the bleeding is stopped with the help of alum, that is Fitkari. Third, deltas are formed by coagulation of muddy river water coagulated by electrolytes present in seawater, that is the electrolysis process. Third question, what is the difference between multimolecular and macromolecular colloids? Give one example of each type. How are associated colloids different from those two types of colloids? So the multimolecular colloids, if we talk about, they are those colloids in which small atoms or molecules combine together to form particles of colloidal size and are called as multimolecular colloids. Example is gold sol, sulfur sol and arsenic sulfide sol. Macromolecular colloids are those colloids in which dispersion particles are macromolecules, that is bigger molecules. They are bigger in size, they are having more of the area and having a larger volume. That is, polymers are called macromolecular colloids. An example, if we take the starch in water and gum in water, is the example of macromolecular colloids. Associated colloids, those colloids which behave as strong electrolyte at low concentrations but show colloidal properties at higher concentrations due to the formation of aggregated particles of colloidal dimension. Such substances are called associated colloids. The example is the soaps and synthetic detergents belong to this class. Micelles are the aggregated particles or associated colloids. Students, that we have studied properly what is CMC, critical Micelles concentration, how micelles are formed and how this soap solution becomes associated colloid. Coming to question number 4, state what is observed when the electrodes connected to a battery are dipped into a sol. Second, an electrolytic solution is added to sol. Third, an emulsion is subjected to high speed centrifugation. So answer to the first part is the colloidal particles get attracted towards one of the electrode. In the case of the electrode is dipped into a solution, because of the charged particles, whatever charged particles are there in the colloidal sol, they'll be moving towards the oppositively charged electrode. Second, the sol gets coagulated when we add a electrolyte to it. And third, emulsion gets demulsified, that is, the property of the emulsion gets spoiled, or rather we say the emulsion is destroyed and it is de-emulsified. Question number 5, what are micelles? How do they differ from ordinary colloidal particles? Give 2 examples of micelles forming substances. Second, state Hardy-Squirrel's rules, and third, state the principle of electrodialysis. Coming to the answers, the first one, micelles are aggregated particles. When concentration of solute is increased, colloidal particles consist of molecules having size 1 nanometer to 1000 nanometer at all concentrations. Soaps and detergents form micelles, and that's why the soap, they do not work properly into hard water, because in hard water we require more of the aggregates to form the micelle. Hardy-Squirrel's rule says that oppositively charged ions are more effective for coagulation of colloidal solution. The coagulating power of ion is directly proportional to the fourth power of the charge on ion. The third part, electrodialysis, says is based on the principle that ions are passed through parchment paper faster in electrical field than colloidal particles and thus get separated. In electrodialysis, the process is faster because with the help of current, the migration of ions are faster. Sixth question, which will be absorbed more readily on the surface of charcoal and why? NH3 or CO2? In what way are multimolecular colloids different from molecular colloids? Give one example of each. ले लो आप. States of principle of electrodialysis. Ammonia will be adsorbed more readily on the surface of charcoal because it has higher critical temperature due to more van der Waals forces of attraction. Multimolecular colloids and macromolecular colloids, if we see the differences, they consist of aggregates of small atoms or molecules, that is sulfur sol and arsenic sulfide sol. And macromolecular colloids, they consist of large molecules, that is polymers, that is starch sol and albumin sol. Electrodialysis is based on the principle that ions are passed through parchment paper faster in electrical field than colloidal particles and thus get separated. Coming to the 7th question, explain the following terms: electrophoresis, dialysis, Tyndall effect. Electrophoresis, the movement of colloidal particles towards positive or negatively charged electrode in electric field is called electrophoresis. It occurs due to the presence of positively or negatively charged ions on colloids. Dialysis is the process of purification of salt containing electrolytes by keeping the sole in the bag made up of parchment or cellophane and suspended the bag in pure water. Small molecules or ions can pass through the membrane, but the sole is retained. Tyndall effect is the important phenomena, students. When light passes through the sole, its path becomes visible just as the beam of sunlight is seen as it enters the dark room through a small hole or slit because of scattering of light by colloidal particles. On the basis of Tyndall effect, we can explain that sky is blue in daylight due to the scattering of blue light by dust particles. Scattering of light depends upon the difference between the refractive indices of dispersed phase and dispersion medium. The eighth question says, which will absorb more gas, a lump of charcoal or its powder, and why? Second part, describe the preparation of the following colloidal solution. Name the methods used for each case, silver sole and sulfur sole. Charcoal powder will absorb more gas because it has more surface area, and the burning arc method, we take silver electrodes in the form of electrolytic arc in water and pass high voltage through it. A lot of heat will be generated which will vaporize silver metal into vapors which on condensation form silver sole. Oxidation is the second process. Pass H2S gas through the aqueous solution of nitric acid. Colloidal solution of sulfur will be obtained. H2S plus O in presence of concentrated HNO3 gives H2O plus S. So students, these are basically the questions which have been taken out as the important questions of surface chemistry. And over here, with the questions of 1 mark and 3 mark, the total quorum of marking scheme is completed. So practice these questions properly and be sure that we'll be having questions out of this parameter only. So thanks a lot and have a good practice. Bye.